in view of the ongoing transformation in Africa through rapid urbanization, rising incomes and technological innovations, the federal government has identified the real estate sector as an engine of growth, a vehicle for investment and a foundation for sustainable development in the continent. The Minister of Housing and Urban Development, Ahmed Musa Dangiwa, stated this at the 24th Annual Conference of the African Real Estate Society in Lagos. And our correspondent, Fatoki Kunle, compiles the details in this report as presented from our studios.
Africa is a continent with enormous opportunities in land and resources that can be harnessed through innovation, policy and investment in the real estate sector for sustainable development in the continent in view of its real estate landscape, which is characterized by resilience, versatility and enormous potential.
Housing sectors requires enormous inputs. And then when you look at the population sizes of Africa, and then the number of accommodation deficits that we have in this part of the world, we cannot but need to put our heads together to strategize on how to change the course of events in Africa, bringing together professionals from all over the world, the academia, the policy makers, industry experts. We can be able to synergize.
No wonder the 24th Annual Conference of the African Real Estate Society brought together policymakers, investors, academics, and industry leaders to explore sustainable growth in Africa's real estate sector. The federal government said there are immense opportunities as well as challenges in the real estate sector in Africa, while highlighting the bold initiatives it has taken under the renewed hope agenda of the present administration, where the private sector has a key role to play.
Embrace blockchain, GIS, and AI to revolutionize land titling, valuation, and property transaction. Regional investment through AFCTA. Real estate players can tap into a continental market of 1.3 billion people with harmonized investment rules. Affordable housing as a growth engine. Government and investors must collaborate to build massive housing that is livable, sustainable, accessible to the medium and low classes.
I, Dr. Adekunle Adegbenga Adeshegun Awolaja, as President of AFRES, I declare this conference open.
Government has to, put in place policies for maybe before your building has to be approved, then it has to go, they have to make sure it's green certified. You get me? Things like this is the responsibility of the government to do, because if we go talking without them, turning some of the things into laws and rules and regulations, then we don't get anywhere.
The gathering spotlight opportunities and innovations driving Africa's property market under the theme Shaping the Future of African Real Estate Markets, Exploring Opportunities. As stakeholders explored dynamic opportunities in African real estate through urban innovation, artificial intelligence, and sustainable city development.
Them being able to obtain security of tenure. When they have land security, then that will encourage them to invest in their properties, and that will increase the value of their properties. And as one of the panelists said, it's paid annually, so that they can also be encouraged to pay it throughout the year.
There was a panel discussion by industry leaders on the real estate sector and networking opportunities in Africa, focused on emerging issues such as sustainable development, finance, and property technology.
Tax can be progressive, but not low tax percentages for the poor, and that kind of thing. Then there's also been a lot of talk about speculation. Speculation is, of course, where you hold land with the expectation that the value would go up. And by the time the value goes up, it becomes out of the reach of the poor.
Poor man now cannot afford it again, maybe now $10,000 US. So you see a situation whereby the poor and the vulnerable are being pushed to the interior that is devoid of public services, thereby multiplying their travail and poverty. So one of the reform is to ensure that land is taxed, land value taxation, to discourage speculation.
With deliberate investments in infrastructure, government and industry players believe that Nigeria's real estate market stands at a turning point to positioning the country to attract new capital, which will in turn contribute its quota to economic growth and development of Africa.